We in here. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. We all up in here today. And I hope y'all ready to have a good show. We looking at Dr. Amos Wilson. You asked for it and we giving it to you. So we getting all the way up in this lecture from Dr. Amos Wilson. Of course, you know, I have an opening video for you, but we got to set the tone for what we're doing here today. So first of all, I want to welcome everybody in here. Just come on into the stream. Come on in. We're about to get it in. We're about to have some fun. Dr. Amos Wilson is on the docket. We're talking about this feel-good history, right? You saw the thumbnail. You saw the title. The positive propaganda has become our drug. We are addicted to feeling good, huh? So we're going to address that today. You know, we've talked about it in the past, but we're going to go a lot more in depth today. A lot more in depth talking about the negative effects of only receiving the positive propaganda and not taking any action, not using the information to transform anything, not using the information to improve anything, but just feeling good. So we're going to complain about our conditions on one end. And then on the other end, don't do nothing about it. Because what? We found a comfortable place. So that's what we're getting into. That's what I love about Dr. Amos Wilson, because he don't play that. He gets it in, and he one of the ones that a lot of the other people didn't like because he didn't take that bull. So yeah, we're getting it in. So first and foremost, I want to give a big shout out and a big thank you to a new channel member, LaRonda Weatherspoon. Thank you. Hold on, I got some sounds now. Hold on, we got some sounds up in here, so you don't get you an applause. Thank you for becoming a new channel member. Welcome to the On the Shoulders of Giants family. You're gonna like it over here. We get it in over here. Thank you. Deborah Ann Smith said, yes, we are indeed. We are addicted to this positive propaganda. We got to do something about it, right? We got to learn. We got to grow. We have to do something different. We can't just keep complaining, right? As always, Renee, you know, I'm happy to have you up in the building. Thank you for being in here on this beautiful Saturday. You already know. Well, you know, here in Tallahassee, I'm in Tallahassee, Florida, and it's the Black People's holiday or celebration weekend, aka FAMU homecoming. So it's Black people as far as the eye can see. They're near, they're far, to your left, to your right, front, back. Black people are everywhere. So we getting it in today, man. It's a good Saturday. So we're gonna get it in, and I'm gonna go on up there and hang out with some Black folks. So we're gonna start off with a video that is going viral through the internet, and I thought it went well with today's lecture because we're talking about problem solving, right? Being able to not just gather the information and just feel good about I know history and just intellectual masturbation. Intellectual masturbation gets us nowhere. So this first video is a drunk white guy decided to run up on a Black dude, and he messed around and found out, right? So we're going to start with that video, and then we're going to get into the Dr. Amos Wilson lecture because, of course, you know, we got to build this bridge. We got to have some fun. We got to entertain. It's Saturday, too. We're going to learn, have some fun. You already know what it is, Renee. You are always welcome to be here. So y'all come on in. Make sure you hit that like button when you get in here. Like the video, comment, subscribe, share, all of that, so we can make sure we are getting this information out, continuing to break through the shadow banner. Of course, you know, YouTube be tripping. YouTube be hating on me. YouTube don't like Black folk getting together, having a good time, learning and all that stuff. So YouTube be straight hating. So make sure you hit that like button. If you see that hype button, please hit that hype button and all of that. I do want to give a shout out to Jocelyn Bud. Thank you for your contributions to On the Shoulders of Giants. I really appreciate you. And of course, got to give a big shout out to me, Kim Tate, for your contributions to the channel. I appreciate you. Terrell, you finally caught us. We in here, Terrell. We in here. Man, you know you always welcome. We happy to have you up in here, man. You caught us, and you caught us at the beginning too. We ain't even really got cooking up in this thing yet. So I appreciate you being here. All right, so let's go ahead and start with our first video. Like I say, this drunk white dude decided to run up on a Black dude, and he messed around and found out. So Let's do this.
What do you want, man?
Oh yeah, I do want to preface this too. So I picked this video because this one is YouTube friendly as far as a lot of the F words are bleeped out. So this is from the Theo Coop podcast, the Do Better podcast, the brother Theo Coop. Shout out to him. I check out his podcast. So this is what he put together and it's edited for YouTube. So I chose that one. So, you know, we want to be getting no demonetization and stuff like that over here. So we're about to get it in.
I can see your spirit already. What do you want? To receive a terrible comeuppance. All right? That's what's going to happen. I don't care. Get out of here, man.
You don't
What
care?
it is.
No, I don't care. Get out of here. This is about the Bible here. If you don't have any questions regarding the Bible, get down the street.
What the
You're
no,
not listening.
Shut up.
No, I don't have to. I'm trying to teach you.
You don't need to shut up.
Yo, bro. Yo, bro. Yo, bro.
So as you can see what we're going to be getting into, right? How does the information we learn, how does the history we learn, how does that translate into something that can keep us safe? How does it translate into something that solves our problems? How does it translate into something that spurs us forward rather than just us being at a stagnant position, feeling good? That's what we're getting into.
Let me give you guys a little bit of the background before we get started. This 6 to 8 minute clip has gone viral. I actually found the entire video, which is 42 minutes. I watched all 42 minutes, so that way you didn't have to. And all I really have is that this gentleman is at a park. He's at a park and he's talking to his live stream audience. That's why you have the camera on him. And he's reading the Bible and talking about Indigenous Peoples Day. I guess that was just yesterday. I believe he's a Hebrew Israelite. I'm not really that religious of a person. I believe that's what it is. But he's basically talking to no one outside of his online audience because there's barely anyone even jogging by. There's only a handful of people. And this one gentleman just walks up to him extremely aggressive and starts the conflict. Let's go.
We want you to stop wasting money on deodorant that doesn't work. A lot of deodorants aren't actually stopping sweat, and they're all this.
So you people have the audacity to celebrate Thanksgiving, but it's really thanks stealing. You're thankful for stealing this land. What do you want, man?
Appreciate you being here.
I can see your spirit already. What do you want?
Stealing what?
What do you want, man? What's your question? What's your question?
Stealing what?
What's your question?
And reminder, this brother was talking for about 20 minutes to no one in the park outside of his live stream audience. And that's when this man walked up to him.
Stealing what?
Stealing this land.
Okay, explain to me better.
Okay, Job 9:24, the earth ended wicked. So wicked people came on this place,
his Hebrew
which is
Israelite
you devil.
This thing in the park, you know, and drunk white dude roll up on him. And he got what he was looking for.
You red people, you Edomites, which goes into the Bible, and you stole this land from our brothers, the Native Americans. If you can see on this sign, they go back to the tribes of Israel, which you're not looking. So I know you don't give a shit. So you're going into slavery because of that, and you're going to receive a terrible comeuppance. All right? That's what's going to happen to
you. I am?
I don't care. Get out of here, man.
You don't care?
No, I don't care. Get out of here.
I'm from the turtle trend.
All right, whatever.
What are you here for?
Let me get a precept. This is about the Bible here. If you don't have any questions regarding the Bible, get down the street.
What the Bible, man? I'm from the turtle
This is
trend.
Job 9:24. Job
9:24 what?
Coward.
You know who the you're talking to? That's my turtle trend.
Okay.
Okay? I'm native.
Okay.
And you're gonna come talk to me and you're gonna tell me the step. Who the are you?
Okay, so let me read you something.
Who the are you?
And here's another tactic of these whites.
But if you notice, the white guy has a gun in his hand as he's being aggressive to the black guy, hopped up off the liquor. So that's where we at.
The premise, because we're not calling him suspected at this time. He's already dropped the N-word 3 times on him while pulling a gun. And shout out to Tariq Nasheed, because he talks about this on his channel. A lot of white people try not to claim whiteness because it's some like exclusive club for them. And he says he's native. And this white gentleman claims to be native. He's about as native as a pack of crackers. When in reality, it's just a white man who's upset and looking to start an altercation.
Let me read something to you.
Yeah, go ahead and read.
Let me read something to you.
You're gonna preach.
Let me read to
and
you.
then you're gonna talk to me?
Let me read to you.
Who the are you?
First of all, you gotta calm down.
I gotta calm down, but you're one calling me an imposter.
Yeah,
you're here.
Did you notice the person in the back, the white guy in the background? He was walking by, he stopped, he looked, and he just kept walking.
Protesting.
I am.
My clan. Yeah. But you're here protesting my clan.
If you were here.
And then you want to talk to me
about
disrespect.
If you were
Shut
here,
your mouth.
If you were here. If you were here. If you were here.
Shut the up.
I'm reading about the tribe of the native.
You think this is a joke?
You're drunk. Calm down.
Drunk.
And he can smell the alcohol in his breath. He says you're drunk. And the white dude is talking about the black guy who was sitting there protesting. He was simply talking to his live stream audience. That gentleman walks up, gets offended, and now he's going to try to intimidate him.
22 division. You're drunk.
I don't give a I'm a gangster.
Okay.
We're finna see.
Okay.
And you're here talking about naval, tribal things?
You see this? This is live.
I don't give a
He asking for it.
You see this? This is how it is. This is how it is for us when we come out here. Hey, this reminds me
for you?
of Victoria and Dundas.
Oh, for you, right? You're a black man. You're talking about my people?
But we're brothers. If you are a Gadite, we are actually brothers, and this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I come to you and I ask you.
You're not listening.
Shut up.
No, I don't have to. I'm trying to teach you.
You don't need to shut up?
Yo, bro. Yo, bro. Yo, bro.
Here we go. I wish we could see it. I wish we could see it. You can hear it.
Let's just cock back the hammer and bust your face. Bitch ass. Bitch ass. Yo, bitch ass. Get the fuck up. Get the fuck up. Get the fuck up. You know who you talking to? I'm crazy. You don't know me. Now you're leaking. You shouldn't have been speaking. Now you're leaking. Bitch ass nigga. Bitch ass. Don't ever come up here.
I'm explaining
my shit. Now you're all leaking. Get the f out of here. Now I took your gun. What are you gonna do? Now I took your gun. Now I can f you up. Who's the bitch? Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? Yo, your gun is unloaded. You're busted too. Wankster. Wankster.
He said the gun's not even loaded. You goddamn wankster.
Fucking homo thug. Bitch, nigga. You're a bitch. You're a fucking bitch. Get the fuck out of here.
Hold on.
Get the f out of here.
You attacked Buddy.
Get the f out of here.
He came to me. I came
Get the f out of here. You don't know who you're messing with.
Drunk, black dude on the side doing his Hebrew Israelite preaching thing, not aggressive, purple shirt Hebrew Israelite, but just regular Hebrew Israelite preaching on the side. Ain't bothered nobody doing this thing. Drunk white dude come up, talking junk, pulls his fake gun on him, and got a real ass whooping. You know, so I'm gonna bring the context back to the whole show in a minute. I don't have the neck muscles to shake. Hey man, look, don't worry about it. I do it for you. I do it for you. Yeah. Well, that's what happened when you're on that oil. You get hopped up on that oil, and that oil get your ass whooped. That's what happened.
He called him a wankster.
Streets. Fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Now you're leaking. Hey, everybody, look at this punk. Putting guns to my head. You know who I am? I'm a servant of Yahweh Shemel Shai. You know who I am? Yeah, you see, we're not choir boys here. Don't mess with me.
It's my boy since you ripped him off.
Putting guns to my head.
No.
Shut the fuck up.
No. My boy since you ripped him off.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm serious.
What?
On my kids.
I don't give a shit. Get out of here.
That's why I came to you.
Get out of here.
He was here going on about bullshit.
Guy has a
ChatGPT, what's a future-proof business in 2025?
Nice piece, eh? This piece of shit. It's broken too.
It's a BB gun.
See, and that's what I'm talking about right there. He says it's a BB gun. And one thing I didn't mention was that earlier when the brother was preaching alone, talking to his audience, was that he mentioned they're in Canada. He mentioned something happening on Victoria and Dundas, and I Googled that. There's actually 2 cross streets in Toronto. And this dude is walking around with a BB.
So you basically get the gist of that. You basically get the gist, right? So, yeah, so open it. That's how I want to open this thing off. That's how I want to start off, because the audacity first and foremost, the audacity of the drunk white dude to just roll up on the black guy, just like I could just roll up on you and do whatever, and you gonna cower to me because you a N-word. You one of them. You beneath me, even though I'm a low-level white dude. You beneath me, right? Black dude is on adrenaline, dude happy to win the skirmish. The skirmish is not a right. But at least he could handle himself. At least he was in a position to handle himself. Of course, it's not a. And back to what we was talking about the Haitian Revolution, but we ain't gonna get all in that because people might get mad. But yeah, he just won a battle. It wasn't a war. You're right. But for the majority of us as black folk, we can't handle ourselves, especially the ones running around with the dashikis, shea butter. We got the African art in our house. We got the African names. We got the whole regalia. We got all the information. We got all the books on the bookshelf. We can quote you all the words out the books. We can quote all the lectures. We could do it all. You want to have a debate? I would debate you all day. I could debate you 12 days straight. I got all that information. But I can't solve my problems. I can't get from point A to point B. I don't know how to put it all together to create something tangible. I'm always waiting on somebody else to do what I can't do. And that goes into the Monday readings. Of course, we're reading The Miseducation of the Negro right now, Dr. Carter G. Woodson, right? And he getting into that miseducation of how we're given information. We're given a type of education, but this type of education doesn't empower us to solve our problems. It pushes us in the direction to assimilate and to help white people solve their problems, right? So absolutely, when he told him to shut up, the whole story was for sure. I'm white, right? Exactly. He was telling them, he was trying to put him in his place. I'm gonna just walk up on you either way and just put you in your place. Say point A to point B requires infrastructure. Yes, right. And that's the problem. We haven't even thought about creating infrastructure. Not in mass, not in real life. That's not a real concept to us, creating real infrastructure. Being able to build, being able to problem solve. Like, what does real problem solving look like for us? Like, for real, like, what does real problem solving look like for the black community? You got all the books, you got all the information, you got all this stuff, but what does problem solving actually look like? So I'm saying, Boundless, what's going on? Thank you for being up in the building. Y'all, please hit that like button. Please make sure you hit that like button so we can make sure that this information just keeps going and just keep going and going and going and going and going and going and going, right? But we've become addicted to the positive propaganda, right? There are a lot of scholars, there are a lot of lecturers, there are a lot of speakers over the years who gave us a lot of good information. But what they didn't give us was ways to solve our problems. And that was a big critique of Dr. Amos Wilson, is we can't solve our problems. We can't do nothing. Like, we really out here just like, all right, well, somebody gonna do it for us. And ain't nobody gonna do it for us. Ain't nobody gonna do it for us. If you think somebody gonna do it for us, you delusional. You more than delusional. You crazy, because nobody has done it yet. But how would it be? But think about this in a logical sense. How would it be of the best interest of another group, especially the group that we claim are our oppressors? We say white folk are our oppressors. That's what we keep saying, right? So if white people are our oppressors, why would they throw us a true lifeline? Why would they educate us in a way that will empower us to become a rival to them? Especially if one of the keys is to hold on to the power. It's to stay in power. That's one of the tenets of white supremacy, to stay in power. Why would they educate us in a way that would help us empower ourselves and become even a rival to them or an equal to them? I'm just saying, we got to think about that. Malcolm said, without education, you're going nowhere in this world, right? And proper education too. But think about one of the biggest issues that we are facing in the Black community today is an education issue. We have a mass illiteracy issue. Now, the false narratives say only Black boys are suffering from illiteracy. Well, no, Black boys and Black girls, but even a larger issue, America is suffering an illiteracy issue. But of course, you know, if America has the flu, then Black America got HIV, right? That's what it seemed like. It's extra worse for us, right? So if we have an illiteracy problem in America overall, we have an illiteracy problem in the Black community. If we have an illiteracy problem, then we are not being educated. And if we are not being educated, we are nowhere close to even knowing who we are. So the positive propaganda don't even matter these days. Doesn't even matter. Right. Here we go. Black people don't need logic. They just need Jesus. Hallelujah. You know, even though Jesus took actions, but you know, they ain't reading the book, you know, they ain't reading. We're addicted to not being serious about anything but I'm just saying, man, party and bullshit. Party and bullshit. Party and bullshit. That's what we love to do, man. Hey, don't let that boots on the ground come on. Where them fans at? I tell you where that liberation ain't. You know what I'm saying? So they want us to compete against each other instead of, right? And they have us competing against ourselves. That's a part of the programming. They have us competing against ourselves. We hate ourselves. We are our biggest enemy right now. That's a conversation me, Pat, and PC had a while ago. Is I believe that Black people's biggest enemy right now are Black people. Of course, we know white supremacy is the root of all of our problems. We'd never overlook that. But we've come to a point now, the programming is to a point now to where our biggest enemies right now are ourselves. Because we can't even recognize the real enemy. And since we can't recognize the real enemy, we target ourselves even more. I'm just saying. Fair use, how you doing? Welcome. At Door of L, peace to you and all to here. Thank you for being here. You already know I appreciate you. Fair use. Door of L, greetings, fair use. You know what it is. The playbook. All right. So let's let Dr. Wilson do his thing. Of course, you know I got some notes that I'm be getting into that corresponds. But yeah, let's get into it. And if you don't know who Dr. Amos Wilson is, you will be thoroughly introduced to it today. We don't have time to get in full backstories, but you already know you're going to be thoroughly introduced to his line of thinking today. And Dr. Amos Wilson didn't hold no punches, and he wasn't soft. So let's get into it.
Time with you, and it's an honor to have been invited to do so. We'll talk a little bit today about culture and identity, and I could appreciate the prior speakers, and certainly I appreciate the candor, your candor. I think it's very, very important that we confront the reality of the situation we're in. And if some of you have known me, and I'm sure you have for a long time, you know, I've spoken out again and again about the ego massaging approach to history.
Right.
And in fact, I think maybe about the first times it might have been at the New Jersey Institute of Technology. And it's understandable why we want to massage our egos and to lift ourselves up and to feel good about ourselves. And that should be done. However, it is very important too that we look at the reality of the situation we're in, or else we can come blinded by our attempt to maintain ourselves with just good feelings and great.
Couldn't have said it better, right? Couldn't have said it better. Of course, this is based off of his ideologies, his framework, his information, but we're making it make sense for us in today's times, because I think this is from the 90s, so we have to make it make sense for us in today's time. New Jersey self-defense, what's going on? Happy to have you here. Your favorite video? Well, hey, look, that mean you was destined to be here. I appreciate you. Y'all please hit that like button while you in here. Please hit that good like button. Said, wouldn't fan dance or line dance be akin to auction block slavery? I mean, it could be akin to the way black people, quote unquote, relaxed and things that they did on their off days during slavery. Maybe. I'm not sure. Something we got to think about. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna act like I know right now. Well, I'm not sure. But the main thing is right now is right. One of Dr. Wilson's arguments, right, is that the black community's study of history becomes an exercise in feeling good about oneself rather than structuring power and action, right? So if our study of black history is merely only an exercise in feeling good about ourselves, and this, I believe this is Dr. Wilson quote, then we will die feeling good, right? Because in our learning of history and our acquiring of history, it should be more than just feeling proud about ourselves. It should be more than just being nostalgic. It should be more than just about recounting historic episodes, but being connected to present power formation, strategic planning, and consciousness in transformation, right? Looking at how to use the information that we acquire to transform ourselves and our community. Well, first of all, transform ourselves into a community. Once again, I use the word community loosely nowadays. I use the word, when I'm talking about the black people, Black America, the words family and community, I use loosely, but I use those words for familiarity and sometimes lack of a better word, right? But the thing is, we have areas that we exist in and survival units. And we have that because of the degeneration of our communities, the degeneration of our families over time. So now we exist in this insane manner, in this way that leaves us vulnerable to our enemies. Because we have all these people, and myself included, right? Because I got to check myself too, right? We got all these people who acquired all this information, the talented 10th, and ain't talented at nothing but helping white people become more dominant. And that's the problem. Renee says, I used to work in NJIT. Khalid Muhammad spoke there in the 90s, trying to remember if Dr. Wilson came there. Nah, that's what's up. Oh, you was up in there. That's what's up. I'm jealous. That's what's up, Renee.
Great feelings. And that can be just as harmful, you see, as not knowing the truth as well. We have to tell both sides of the truth. I heard you had a little thing here the last time here with Brother Coakley. I never quite got the story. I haven't had a chance to really meet Coakley, and I've heard his tapes. I have, frankly, no major problem with Mr. Coakley, and I wished him well. And I'm sure if we were to meet him today, we would get along quite well. I have no problems with Steve Coakley. He happened to hear an address, not an address, but a radio program I was on in D.C. I gather it might have been he that called and asked the question. I hear sometimes he calls in disguise. But I want to clarify my situation, which is, of course, I think you're pretty much familiar with. But my critique of the conspiracy approach is very well known. Some of you, if you are not aware of it, I'm sure Brother Yusuf has probably the tape that I did at Harriet Tubman around the time when we were dealing with the issue of violence. Yeah, the violence initiative. Yeah. And I've stated it in other places as well as I did on the radio. So it's so my concerns about conspiracy approaches to history have been quite public and quite clear. I have no problem with us determining what conspiracies exist.
Right.
And obviously there are conspiracies, and it's very important that we know those conspiracies. Right. However, I do advocate that we cannot spend all of our energy into just trying to root them out, that there's much more work to be done than the mere discovery of conspiracies.
Well, see, I'm with them on that, but I think one of the things that contributed to that is a lot of the scholars fed into the conspiracies. A lot of the scholars push the ideas of rooting the conspiracies out, going down the rabbit hole. Because I can remember doing that myself, being in that position myself because of the information that I was consuming, because of some of the scholars that I was watching, right? So I find myself on YouTube going down the rabbit hole. I find myself on the internet going down the rabbit hole, finding all this information, right? And then 10 years later, I'm realizing, hold on, we still in the same position we've been in, and looking up all these conspiracies. We got all this information. We can remember, we out here telling you, hey man, all the presidents is related. They got this one common relative and all these things here. Yeah, but how is our community better? Well, I can't tell you how my community better, but I can tell you that Barack Obama and George Bush are 17th cousins. Yeah, but how is the black community better? I don't know how the community better, but I can tell you that the government that brought all the seeds from Monsanto and this and that. Yeah, but how is the community better? I don't know how the community better. Why? Because I ain't done nothing to make the community better. Well, why haven't you done anything to make the community better? Because I've been concentrating on conspiracies and feeling good. Oh, so that's why everything around you is gentrified right now. Because remember 10 years ago when you was complaining about the white people trying to come in and take the stuff, and then you got caught up into the feel-good history. You got caught up into going down the rabbit hole. You got caught up into the shea butter and the kente cloth. You got caught up in the look, but no actions. And then now everything around you is gentrified and gone, and you're mad at the white people for taking everything that was around you that you had a chance to take advantage of, but you didn't, because feeling good was more important. I get it, because I've been there myself. I get it. So that's why we like, all right, we got to do something different. You know what would really make us feel good? You know what would really make us feel good is if our conditions were to actually change. If we actually had real change in our community, if we actually had real power. Don't nobody know what that means to know all that stuff. It feels good to espouse all of that black power stuff. I know, look, I can tell you the readings of Thomas Sankara. I can tell you Kwame Nkrumah. I can tell you Kwame Ture. I can tell you all of the writings of Malcolm X. I can quote you on book 17, page 39, verse 22. I can tell you all of that. But I haven't solved one problem yet. So what's the point? Are we going to be problem solvers? Or are we going to be intellectual masturbators? We got to ask ourselves.
Just as I have just got through saying about history, while we use our history to uplift ourselves, to uplift our esteem, to bring truth to ourselves, to transform ourselves, we must not get addicted to this.
Right.
We must also look at the realities that confront us as people. And while we look at the conspiracies against us as a people, we must not also get addicted to just digging up conspiracies. As I have warned before, by the time you find out the conspiracy and who's behind it, it's too late. It's too late. It's too late. And it takes more than knowing about it to
I just exaggerated. We usually say if America has a cold, we get the flu. We usually say that. I just exaggerated. I exaggerate everything. Don't be listening to me all the time. I exaggerated that. So yeah, we the same as y'all.
defend yourself against it. And you really don't
already know
to
them.
know about it.
We don't have the mindset for confrontation. We don't have the physicality for conflict. But one of the things Dr. Amos Wilson is talking about is being honest about our situation. Currently, right now in Black America, we're only really equipped to fight ourselves. Let that marinate. We're only equipped to fight ourselves. Remember, everybody got all geeked up off the butt whipping that the black people gave the white people at the river in Mississippi, in Alabama, Mississippi. One of them, when the black dude threw his hat up in the air and the black dude jumped in the water and swam across, and all the black people went over there and whooped the white folk. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was down for a good butt whipping, but at the same time, it didn't solve no problems. Those two states are still two of the poorest states in the union. And if we got the flu and white people got the cold, and these are the poorest states in the union, then what that mean about us? So problem solving take work. You already know, Terrell. Problem solving take work. Not only are we not moving, we're going, oh man, black viewpoint. I love your viewpoint. You already know. We are in reverse. Reverse. We tripping. We got to wake up. But once again, we can't just consume the information. How are you using the information in your immediate area on a regular basis? How are you solving problems in your immediate community on a regular basis? What are you doing on an everyday basis within your home, within your life, within your community to solve problems? And if the answer is nothing, then your ass is tripping. Your ass is tripping. I'm telling you right now, you tripping. You tripping. And you want to know how I know you tripping? Because I used to be one of them people. I had to get up off my ass and stop complaining and get active. Now, I'm angry about a whole bunch of other stuff, but I'm not angry about nobody doing nothing. Why? Because at least I'm doing something. At least I'm doing something. And guess what? I found out it's a whole lot more other people doing something. So we link up and we do stuff together, right? Peace. We of you as anarchists are set upon by all Easterners with some sort of accent. Yep. Ernest. I ain't gonna lie, I thought it said Emmett Smith. My bad. But Ernest, welcome, my brother. Welcome. I say, during slavery, the colonialism, we won many battles. We won many battles, right? We won many battles. But of course, you know who won the overall war, who's still winning the war. And until we win the war, we got a lot of work to do.
Frankly speaking, if you're only going to learn about conspiracy and then react, you remain in the same mode of action that we are in today, reactionary. Our orientation toward the world today as African people must be pro-actionary.
Right.
Our ability to defend ourselves must occur before the fact. Our program.
We can't fight. I'm sorry to keep stopping, but we can't fight. We can't fight in mass. The masses of us can't fight. We do not have the ability to defend ourselves. We do not know military science. And I'm talking about like real fighting, like real combat. Most of us, myself included, we can't fight. We do not know military science. We're not in a position to defend ourselves, and that's not good. As much as we talk Like we talk junk way more than any other group of people, but we can't fight. We can't defend ourselves en masse. Linking back to the opening video. At least that dude was able to defend himself as an individual. How many of us can do that?
To liberate ourselves and to defend our liberation, to enhance our quality of life, to overthrow white supremacy must go on regardless as to what other people are doing. Whether they're plotting or scheming or not, it does not really matter. I will assume that whites are scheming. I will assume that they are black boulets. There's no problem with that. But my thing is what? We must build an African global system that will secure us against black boulets, white conspiracy, or any other ethnic group or conspiracy in the world. This is a positive approach. And so consequently then, we have to watch out then when we just get one-sided in issues and recognize we have to bring balance to ourselves in the world. You also have to be careful when you get into conspiracy theory, and that's good, and discovering conspiracies. Conspiracies have a way of seducing you and seducing audiences and creating pressures. And ultimately, if you don't watch it, when you get an audience caught up looking for a new something coming out from under the rock, and you build an image based on that, now in every lecture you got to bring out, some new piece. Sometimes the conspiracy starts happening before they start happening.
Right. That becomes our focus.
You start beginning to be a bit creative.
Right.
And you can start, if you don't watch out, to feed on yourself. You see, because if you get built up in that kind of thing as a lecturer, and you get attached to an audience that way, and an audience is looking for this, then you start looking for enemies and people.
Right.
And then you start naming people, and you start feeding the monster. You see, and after a while, you'll feed one person after another, and after a while, the community itself
old school, what's going
on
on?
Itself and feed on itself and destroy itself. You see, so we have to be very, very careful. There's nothing wrong with studying conspiracies. There's nothing wrong with studying other people's organizations. In the series I'm doing on power, that is exactly what I do. Much of the stuff that Brother Coakley deals with is dealt with as a part of my power series. Much of the information is public, actually. It's not really hidden and secret. If you have an interest in it, and that's your orientation, you can literally find it almost anywhere you want to. That's right. The important part, though, is just not naming it and pointing it out. At some point, it must be translated into a plan of action.
What?
It must become a part of the organization of the African American community.
It must become a part of the organization of the African American community. It must become a part of the culture that we transform into. A culture and a people who take action steps. We don't just complain about what's going on. I always use the analogy. I always use this analogy. You invite me to your, no, matter of fact, I bust into your house. You don't even invite me to your house. I bust into your house through your front door. I knock all your stuff over, piss on your floor, and just leave. You can't find me. I done messed your stuff up. I done messed your house up. It's your house at the end of the day. I messed your house up, and I just leave your house. Yeah, I messed your house up, but whose responsibility is it to clean up your house? At the end of the day, I don't know about you. I ain't finna leave no PP on my floor. So at the end of the day, yeah, I want to go find Buddy and make Buddy clean my house, but I know it's my house and I have to clean up my house. At the end of the day, it's my job to clean my stuff, to get my stuff together. No matter who wronged me, it's my job to get my stuff together. It's my job to take the proper action to be better, to improve, to clean it up. We use the phrase, wake up, clean up, stand up. These are action steps. All of this is action oriented. So on a regular basis, on an everyday basis, because remember, we're making this easy. We're not asking anybody to be superheroes. We're just making this easy. On a regular basis, it's not difficult to wake up, clean up, and stand up. It's not difficult to step out the door and be a great Black person. Don't be an N-word. Be a great Black person. Be the best Black person you can be. Make great decisions. Surround yourself with great people, right? Have great outcomes. Do great things. Have constructive actions. Everything we do, like we learned last week, like we're going over last week when we was reviewing Neely Fuller, our actions have to be constructive. And then we give help to those who need the most constructive help. If everything we're doing is constructive, then we are building. Then we're going to get to where we need to go. I'm just saying. Said to believe melanin fuels are found everywhere in existence. Melanin less gave, discovered by African guys, but here was the void in the Asians. Gotcha. Old school, yeah, we got to get on code. If the majority of FBAs do, the rest will have no other. I'm just saying, somebody got to get on code at some point, at some time. Some people got to do it. Of course, we know we can. I say forget thinking about the masses and just go with those who give a damn. You're asking them to be superheroes. That's not how they were raised. You're asking them to go against them. Well, I'm just saying, if I'm not asking them to be superheroes, but I get what you're saying. You like Nemesis, you think like Pat, man. So I get what you're saying. I get it. But I'm just saying, on a regular basis, just be a good person. Just choose to be better. But I feel you, Nemesis. I feel you. But on a regular basis, just choose to be better. BC, before Caucasoids existed, through the Igbo, Scabs, circumference, the planet that ended up here. We already. All right. Said, well said, quote by Neely Fuller. You already know. Sans Igbo tribes all tripped on my words. No, got to keep it moving. See you. Oh, you already know. So let's keep it going.
The understanding of how these other groups are working and other organizations must ultimately be built in to how we will design our organizations, how we will organize ourselves, how we then will use the strength that we already have to counter these organizations. The studies of these other organizations and so forth becomes a study in preparation for strategy, not just for naming, not just for passing on gossip, not just titillating people, but if this is the structure of the conspiracy against us, then the next issue becomes, what should be our strategy to remove this conspiracy, and what tactics should we use to destroy this conspiracy, given its design and its approach? But to merely point it out, to merely expose, and just leave it at that, really creates a problem. And ultimately, it can work against you. You can leave from one of those kind of lectures where you find out all the inside dope.
Nah, Nemesis, straight up. A lot of those positive propaganda lecturers didn't rock with Dr. Wilson. They talked about him. He was sort of an outcast. But Dr. Wilson, because he was so profound and such a real one, he broke through the hate. But yeah, we didn't listen to him. The mass people did not listen to Dr. Wilson. So yeah.
Feeling morally superior to those people who are conspiring against you and how dirty and low down and, you know, all that they are. But you would not be any better off in defending yourself against them. You will not in any way have developed further steps.
Boundless, I don't think that's a bad viewpoint, but I do think the focus in the beginning that we need to just rock with those who give a damn and don't worry about anybody else. Just only concentrate on those who give a damn, because I think we'll drive ourselves crazy concentrating on those who don't give a damn.
For strengthening yourself to defend yourself.
But yeah, what Amos to say.
So, persons like Coakley have an important role to play in our community by exposing certain things and situations. But we must all be cautious and recognize that that is only a part of the struggle. That this now must be integrated into other aspects of our development as people. That we must not just come into these kind of lectures to feel morally superior to another people and so forth, but we must actually use this information proactively. There will always be those within our ranks who will operate against our interests.
Always.
There's nothing new about this. It's been going on for hundreds of years. It will go on in the future. And we must discover them when we can. But we must also be in a position to neutralize them as well. Not just to name them and let it go at that, leaving them in their same positions and place. That requires another level of organization. And it's that level of organization that I'm concerned about.
But, yes, right.
Some of you are wondering about my power series that I've mentioned. And in that series, we talk about the think tanks and the other things as well. I am at the last lecture in terms of writing for that series. And when I do finish that last lecture, then the series will start. It was designed for 10 lectures. I've written 9 of the lectures, and I'm getting ready to write the 10th. Of course, I've fallen right in the middle of our Black History celebrations and African history celebrations. And this has retarded my capacity to sit down and complete the history, complete the final lecture. And there's a great deal of information too, and I have to really grade that information because I have to abstract a good deal of it. I cannot include everything in it. When I complete that lecture, then we will get started with the power series. I decided, in the light of my past history, that it would probably be better to write the lectures first before they're given, rather than trying to transcribe them from lectures such as this from the tape. It takes a tremendous amount of work to try to transcribe a tape, because when you do an oral presentation, you do so many things, and yet when you look at it on a written page, you cannot just take a lecture, an oral lecture, and print it and put it out. It just doesn't work that way, because you pick up my tone, you pick up my facial features, you pick up a lot of things as you hear me talk that you will not pick up if the things are written on the page. So consequently, even when you republish a lecture, you find yourself doing a tremendous amount of editing, a tremendous amount of changing grammar. You know, so I'll stop in mid-sentence here, do other kind of things. I'll stop at a thought 1 minute and I go on 5 minutes about something else and then come back. In a written situation, that creates tremendous problems. So instead of lecturing and then trying to pull it off from the lecture, I decided what I'd do I'd write the lectures first, and then we would present the lectures. And actually, the written material will be even broader than the lecture itself. And it's very important that the written material gets out. We are a very oral people. A good deal of our information is gained through hearing. But we have to face the fact now that we are in a
Juan D, the chat gonna catch you up. Chat, please catch up Juan D on what we got going on, please.
So-called literate culture, and we are in an electronic age. And while we may honor our griots and we may honor the oral mode, we must also face the reality that that mode is not all we need to make it in this world.
Right.
We cannot
Black
continue just to subsist on lectures alone. We must do a great deal more writing and a great deal more reading. And we must become much more involved in publishing information and in communicating information.
So he's talking about a promotion of critical thinking, a promotion of a new class of thinkers, a promotion of like original concepts, original thoughts, original theories, original ideas, original work. Like, we need Black scholarship, we need Black authors, we need Black published research material. We need to be studying ourselves. We need to be reading everything. We need to be consuming as much information as we can, understanding the information, digesting it, thinking about it critically, and then creating think pieces on it, writing about it, all these different things, exercising our intellectual muscles, but using that to create solutions. Not just doing that to consume the information, but doing that to lead us to create solutions. When we're consuming information, leading with the thought of, in consuming this information, how would I use this information to help me solve my problems? I think if we look at it like that, that will change our whole viewpoint. The slave trade was not us, it was our islands. We have accents because most Africans were dropped. Okay, that ain't what we talk about right now, though, my brother. No fight for we enemies. Hey, and I say, you know, we can fight, but we can't fight. And that's what I said about military science. Like, we can't fight on a militaristic level. Like, we got some hands and stuff, but we can't fight on the militaristic level. You know what I'm saying? Said, hey, Chaos Reign Show. Hey, happy you here. And Juwan D, I'm happy you are here. Oh, they caught you up. Thank you. Right. So basically at that point, but basically we're talking about how Black people across the globe have become addicted to positive propaganda. The feel-good history is our drug. The positive propaganda is our drug, and we are addicted to it, and we're stuck only in consuming information and regurgitating information, but we've never learned to use our information to solve our problems. Say less than 40% didn't change us, we changed them. Hey, I got a lot of his books. So I finally got Blueprint to Black Power. I finally got it. And I'm gonna add it to our book list, but I know the only reason I add it yet because I know it's gonna win. So I'm just trying to give other books a chance. So me too, Chaos Reign. Repeting the same teams, getting the same results. Right. Repeating the same things, getting the same results. Straight up. Keep doing the same thing over and over and over. That's called insanity. During slavery, we provided 5% of what we use. We even had trade amongst ourselves. Example, clay pots made in Antigua were found in Anguilla today. We only provide 1%. We don't do nothing for ourselves. Hardly. You're right. We hardly do anything for ourselves. We're predominantly dependent on our oppressors for our survival. That's scary. That's stupid and scary. Automatics would say that we need to study. Yes, no, seriously. Because think about it. Education, entertainment, economics, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. We need to study all those areas. All those areas we need to be studying, and all the subcategories that come in those areas. We have to become like lifelong learners. We have to become lifelong students in this, especially when we're looking to really understand the system of white supremacy. It has to become a lifelong pursuit of gathering information to understand it, but to turn it into fuel to do something with it. To do something with it. We have no unity. We can't fight. Right? We can't fight a global power without unity. And we got to stop saying white people ain't a global power when they are. We've been under the thumb of these crackers for so long. We got to stop saying that they're not a global power. White people been kicking our ass for so long. We got to stop lying to ourselves. Once again, Dr. Wilson started with that in the beginning. If we're not going to tell the truth, why we here? If we're not going to tell the truth. Can I make a book recommendation? You sure can make a book recommendation. I take all book recommendations. I do take book recommendations. You sure can. I don't even know where the best place to put the book recommendations, because after this live go off, these comments go away. So I don't know, but make the book recommendation, please, please, please. We're outgunned. We never win in the physical fight. We have to use our mind and common sense. The white supremacists use the same playbook. Oh, right. But they already know. They know that we don't have no playbook, and that's the problem. They know we don't have a playbook. Black rage and cause we have no solutions because racism is the belief can't be proven. Gotcha. Black rage says, hold up. We have no solutions because racism is a belief system. Right. Let's get back into it.
There is no way I can communicate to you many of the things I would like to through speaking to you. It's not possible. I can't quote the references and go into kind of detail and the other stuff that you really need if you're really about work. You see, the most we can do here is give a bit of the information and motivate to a great degree.
Right, Black viewpoint, you're right.
In terms of a working knowledge, in terms of something that you can go back to again and again, in terms of the capacity to follow up references and so forth, you can't do that. You know, I've tried so much.
I did not get that book, Self-Hatred and Self-Defeat. I did not get that book, but thank you for the recommendation. I appreciate you.
Right. And that's one of the reasons why I've gone on for 3 hours or 4 hours sometimes, because you're trying to, put it all in. You see, but no, you're gonna have to read, and you're gonna have to read a lot. We're gonna have to change our mode a bit.
And taught them how to bathe. Ernest, you forgot that part. And taught them how to bathe.
While we honor our oral traditions, we also have a literal tradition as African people as well.
Look who in the building. Look who in the building. He back. Man, what's going on, man? We missed you, bro. What's going on, man? Appreciate you being here, bro.
We are the first people of the word, the written word. So there's no reason why then we should see ourselves as on the people who are caught up in the spoken word. We must recapture that word. And I'll tell you another thing this evening as well. We must publish more as people. It's very, very important that we do that. We don't have enough information out here. That's very important. And we need solid information out here. We as a people must read also beyond our African-centered books.
I'm just saying. Dr. Clark told us that.
Some people are getting caught up.
Dr. Clark told us
reading
that.
black-only books, or books written only by black authors.
Read everything.
I warn you, that can limit your perception. We're writing as much as we can. Other people are writing as much as they can. But frankly speaking, the number of African-centered books written by African authors is still very narrow in terms of the kind of knowledge and information we need to have as a people.
Mm-hmm.
And consequently, then, we must integrate a lot of other knowledge from a lot of other sources into an African-centered program. I am concerned with Africanizing information. You can get information from anywhere and any place and anybody. It's not the source of the information that is of major importance. It is the question that you have in mind and the intentionality that you have in mind when you contact that information that is of importance.
Right.
When you come with certain African-centered questions and certain African-centered intentions, you can subvert the intentions of other people. And even though they may have written lies, they may have written a book to falsify your image, with an African-centered question in your mind, and with an African-centered intentionality in your mind, you can still gain useful information from that.
Well, but that comes from, like he said, true education. A true education, right? An education that was given with purpose in mind, with intent in mind, to make sure that the one who receives it is a beacon, turns themselves to a beacon of learning, right? To being able to filter through the bull, but also know how to spit the bones out and keep the meat, keep what you need, because there's information to be found everywhere. But we have to be seekers of information, seekers of truth. Remember, we have at least 2 to 3 generations now who've been stuck in front of screens their whole lives. Most of the learning that they have had has been from a screen. We have generations of Black people who have never learned anything from their parents or the people in the household that they live with. They've never learned anything. So we're talking about fighting an uphill battle. Even for some of us, your light switch may have came on, but what environment were you in to nurture your thirst, to nurture your hunger? What environment were you in? I was lucky enough to be in an environment that was able to nurture my thirst, to nurture my hunger. But everybody don't have that. But once again, going back to what Neely Fuller says, that leads to a confusion about the world because you don't understand white supremacy. And so we have a lot of pseudo knowledge, a lot of feel-good knowledge, a lot of this other information. Even it could be correct information, but you don't have the understanding to process it. So now we got a problem, because you're walking around with a misunderstanding of the information that you have, unable to solve your problems, but you primed and ready for a debate. You can espouse all of the lectures. You could tell us what page and where on the page is a specific section that we need to know. But once again, like I said earlier, you can't tell us how to use that information to solve problems. We have to become problem solvers. Right? At what point do we say, okay, I can see that there's a whole mess in my house. Even pee-pee on the floor. There's pee-pee on the floor. White man came in my house. White man busted my front door, knocked everything down and pee-peed on the floor. But damn it, I'm going to clean my house up. And that white man will never, ever, ever be able to come into my house. What have we learned from history? A whole lot of nothing thus far. The results show that we've learned a whole lot of nothing. We haven't learned anything from history. We've learned the historical facts, but we've not learned anything from the facts because we still keep falling for the same tricks. As was stated earlier, we keep falling for the same tricks. We got to get better. We got to be better. We're talking about being erased from our lands, erased from ourselves, but if we're not Africans or Afrikaners, we're standing in air. Whether you on the continent of Africa, whether you in South America, Central America, North America, the Caribbean, wherever you are, if you're of African descent, you part of this diaspora, this message is for you. We either gonna get right or we gonna continue getting our asses whooped. They call us boy. They call black men boys and males. They call black women girls and whatever. Girls and females. The position of man and woman is earned in society. Dr. Wilson told us about that. The position of man and woman is earned in society. That's a position that is taken and is respected. We got a lot of black males and black females running around. Not a lot of black men and black women. We got a lot of black males and black females. But overall, the overarching thing, most black men and most black women, if not all, are seen as subservient and boys and girls because we refuse to take action to take our position. Remember, we're not saying go out and try to be no thug and stuff like that, but we are saying stand up, stand tall, wake up, clean up, and stand up. There you go. We got to get out of survival mode. You right, Black Viewpoint. You right. I'm not arguing with you, my brother. You are right. One of my favorite. Hey, man, Dr. Wilson be spitting straight fire, man. Hot fire. Africa is the answer because Africa ain't the answer. I got to disagree with you, Ernest. Africa ain't the answer because Africa can't solve their own problems. I got to disagree with you on that. Africa and Africans can't solve their own problems. Don't let what Traore is doing to make it seem like it represents the whole continent. Traore is a one-off. Africa is not the answer because Africa cannot solve their problems. There's not one group of black people in the diaspora who can solve their own problems. If there is, show me, because white supremacy is the problem that has not been solved. It feels like the more I review this video, they are scarcely relevant even now. I'm just saying when you know what you talk about, you know what you talk about. You know what you talk about. You know what I'm talking about? We should have learned to stop eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which man chose his own way instead of the tree of life. We need to see what we can do without. Hey, man. Jawan, look, man. Look. We beating a dead horse. We got to do better. We have to wash our brains, man. We got to get better. Well, we have this white supremacy in the politics. What's up today and down tomorrow? We have to get up on. Yeah, we do. We got to get better. We have to study our enemies. We don't study our enemies. We talk like we know who white people are, but we don't. Africa is part of the solution, not the full solution. Our liberation must be global. You're right. No, you're right. But Africa got to get their stuff together. You're right. They are part of the solution. They are. We need the continent. We need the people on the continent, but they got to get their stuff together, just like we got to get our stuff together. They're in no position to help us like we're in no position to help them. I agree, though. I do agree that Africa is part of the solution. Real unity is under the creator and no man of any shade. FBA all day. Sensei FBA Mary. Unfortunately, Africa is more backwards than we are. I'm just saying, let's get back into the lecture, though.
And you can turn then their intentions into something that works for you. So you just can't say, well, because it's written by a white man, I'm not going to read it. Or because, well, it's lying and they're intended to. No, the fact that you know it's a lie is information. Now, why is it a lie? What is the end point of the lie? What is trying to be accomplished there? What is the technique of the lie? How is this hooked into propaganda? In what way is this group trying to transform my consciousness? What techniques and methods?
Well, I mean, Ernest, the thing is, no matter if you're on the continent, in the Caribbean, North America, Central America, South America, we all have the same enemy. We all got some of the same problems. Until we all get our stuff together in our individual areas where we are now. If you live in America and you're not working to get our stuff together for black people in America, we can't even concentrate on Africa because we can't help them. So just like if the Africans don't get their stuff together, they can't help us. So yes, I do agree that Africa is part of the solution, but it becomes a part of the solution when Africans get their stuff together and we get our stuff together and Africans throughout the diaspora get our stuff together.
Can I get from this to use against my enemies? What are their methods and techniques of propaganda that I can use to advance
Okay,
the
Ty.
propaganda for African people. Because see, our propaganda is not necessarily lies either, you know. And propaganda is not necessarily a negative
I'm gonna check that one out, Ty. Ty 313. I'm gonna definitely check that out. Thank you.
term. Propaganda comes from the basic word to propagate, to move information, to communicate.
So let me say this. Let me say this and set ground rules. Let me say this. We are down for all black folk over here. I am FBA. I am a black American. And we rep FBA all day, but we love all black people over here. This in this space, on the shoulders of giants, on all the shoulders of giants. If you are a black person within the diaspora who is down for the upliftment, empowerment, liberation of black people as a whole, we down with you. We down with black people as a whole. We recognize that we got to get our stuff together over here as black Americans. We have to get our stuff together. We have to separate to get our stuff together as individual black Americans, but we are a part of the diaspora as a whole. So basically what I'm saying is, over here we loving everybody. We're not throwing no hate and no shade at nobody unless they said some bull. Now if they on that bull, then no holds barred if they on that bull. But what we not gonna do is throw shades and stones at anybody who haven't done anything to us just because they're not foundational black American. So I just want to set that tone. If you're a black person and you are truly about the liberation of black people, you are truly about uplifting black people, you are truly about to fight the struggle. If that's what you are on, this is the channel for you. But I don't care if you FBA, I don't care if you non-FBA, if you throwing stones, if you just the person who caught up in the back and forth diaspora wars, this ain't the channel. But if you love all black folk, if you love the black folk, especially black folk who down about good stuff, it's the channel for you. I just want to say that. I just want to put that disclaimer out. What's going on, Ash Shakir Whitaker? I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Blackamore Wild, Dr. Amos Wilson. I've listened to this lecture, read his books, have taught me so much. And look at my, hey, Dr. Wilson was the truth. Been a follower of years, OG. I'm 25, always supporting the client. Hey, look, already, FBA been loving all blacks, but they not. Hey, so we only gonna concentrate on the blacks who love us. Everybody else, you got a list of people I see, but if they not down with us, we ain't gonna worry about them. Now, if they throwing stones, then we get them in. You know what I'm talking about? We cannot concentrate on Africa because we've been reclassed as Africans. Mike TV. Now, I mean, I'm not saying we can't concentrate on Africa, but I can't help you if I can't help myself. Basically what I'm saying. When I say we can't concentrate on Africa, if I can't help me, how can I help you? So you would rather us come to you whole rather than broken. People chill with the diaspora war BS. There's over 1 billion Africans there. They're Africans tripping, sure, but not enough to tear the whole damn country. Right. That's why I had to put my disclaimer out. We are not causing a rift over here. If you're a black person and you down for the cause, this is the channel for you. We do not create rifts within the community over here. I appreciate that. Amina, what's going on? Always happy to have you in the building. Whenever you get here, you here. It just got better because you're here. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Let's get back into it.
To persuade. And the methods of moving information and communicating information and of persuading people is not a science of Europeans only. Not by any stretch of the imagination. As a matter of fact, when you study the oral tradition,
Ash,
you'll find that tradition is very much grounded in persuasion. And is very much about persuasion. So then, hang in. You will hear about the announcement of the power conferences. And some of you, I think, have had some questions about the credit union. That's still going. We're still collecting We're still collecting pledges and so forth. Typically, as some of the speakers have indicated this evening, the major problem you have is often people who will not commit themselves to work and will not stick to projects. And so you have a situation here of trying to run a publishing company, not for profit. I must tell you, I don't get one nickel from any book that's sold. All of that goes into the African World Information Systems and is used as a base for education, consultation, building a strong publishing company so that we can disseminate information. None of that money goes into my personal income at all. But it also pays our rent over there. If some of you have been over there, you know I have a space as large as this space here. We want to utilize the space in many, many ways for the community and so forth, but we have to pay for that space. We pay almost $2,000 a month for that space. And so therefore, I have to write for this company as a way of generating income to maintain that space and to further our own agendas, and as well as have to administer it.
I appreciate that, Ashe. I appreciate that. They will be done by Gerald Colby. I appreciate that.
Every day too. You know, we have to do promotions, we have to do editing, advertising, shipping, all of that goes on right there as well. So if I'm a bit slow in terms of getting out the credit union, I hope you can understand when you're trying to do all of these things at once, it slows things down. What I need more than anything else is somebody who's going to come over there and say, I will head the credit union. I have no problem with delegating responsibility. Not one bit. You want to be the director of the credit union? You got it.
Can we get
That's
one?
it.
Let's just get one.
Maybe once a month or whatever, we'll talk. And we'll move it forward. We wanted to do a loan fund over there. It's there. We got the ideas, we got the information, we got the structure, but we need committed people to carry things out. That is a problem. And you know who gives you the greatest problems?
Who that?
Gung-ho African-centered people.
Oh, hold on, because he about to go there. Hold on to your dashiki. Hold on to your, that, you know, the African hat that lean to the side. I don't know the name of it. Hold on to your dashiki and your African hats. Hold on to your shea butter. Hold on to your beads. Hold on to your slides. Hold on to your African-centered name. Hold on to all. Hold on to it. Cause he about to hit you where it hurt. He about to hit you where it hurt. Right. He didn't mention the scammers yet. He didn't even go to it. Hold on to your African costume, cause he about to rock your world.
I'm telling you, I do better with the middle of the roaders. That's a whole nother lecture. And males as well. Yes, I can see why preachers got a lot of women in the church. Very much so. Yeah. Hot, fired up nationalists are amazing people. We've got to get real, ladies and gentlemen. We must take care of business. I'm going to run quickly through this today. It's going to be a little theoretical. Hang in with me. I'm going to talk about culture and identity, even though I will not apologize for the theoretical tone to a degree, because again, nothing works like a good theory.
And Nemesis, I believe that's why he wasn't as popular as a lot of the other ones were, who made them feel good, because Dr. Wilson made them uncomfortable. Some of the other scholars made them feel good. Once again, they had to get that hit. They had to get that tourniquet. Like what they said in the Ray Charles, that ain't that bitch, Ray. That's that boy. They get that needle and they push that feel good African history up in that vein, and they fall out like, oh, they get that hit. But Dr. Wilson was busting them in their face with truth. They didn't get that needle in that vein.
A good theory is really the most concrete thing you can do. We've been deceived as African people into believing that to develop theory or to develop an abstraction is a waste of time. And yet we are ruled over by people who do just that. Develop theories and develop abstractions and develop conceptual things. We just want to jump right into it and go right at it without thinking. Theory is very, very important. It provides a way of course, of conceptualizing.
We don't like the truth. You talk about accountability. You know how they say women don't like accountability? The black community, Black America don't like accountability. Black America lacks accountability because it makes us feel bad about the bad choices we continue to make. Black America, we are like walking bad decisions, a lot of us. And we need somebody to make us feel good. So go to the other ones who are gonna make you feel good.
Where you want to go and why you want to get there. And what your endpoint is. A way of measuring your progress. A way, again, of bringing yourself back on task when you might have deviated for whatever reason.
Right.
Or not, you see. I see people today, and I've been around the country in a number of places, who, say, for instance, have manhood training programs. They see the violence.
So Black Viewpoint, so I'm gonna have a bit of pushback on that. Yes, overall, are they frightened? Yes, but I think they have us in a comfortable place. And I don't think we are their biggest threat right now, but we will always be a threat to them, but we aren't their biggest threat now because we are who we are. They know who we are. So they keep us where we are. But I don't think we're their biggest threat right now, but we are a threat to them. So I would say that. Says, you know, it's been 30 years since Amos. It's been May, man. Look, and we still ain't got no better. We still haven't, in 30 years, we still haven't listened to him. We still haven't listened to him. Still haven't listened to him. That's crazy. The reason they would be gone by Gerald with Kobe shows the same tricks being used not only on us, but yeah. Oh man, I got to get that. I got to get that. I got to get that. I got to get it. I got to get it. Thank you. Thank you, Ashe.
In our cities and so forth, and they get these grants or they got something else, and suddenly they want to transform young black men. And that's a worthy idea. And this must happen if we are to transform our community. But again, you have to ask, transform them into what, for what reason, to what end? You see, it's not enough just to give these young men African values, if that's what you're about, or to just provide them with another orientation in the world, if this is done in a vacuum. If this is not connected ultimately to the whole movement of African liberation and revolution. Value.
Nemesis, you sound like Pat right now. You sound like Pat. Nah, I love it though. I love it.
Are not things you just hold and act on. Values at some level must be reinforced. They must be rewarded. If you train our young people into African values and into certain manhood values and leave them there, where they're still jobless and they're still unemployed.
There you go.
And they're still oppressed, you're going to find yourself with.
Like Nas said in that one song, we're the question and the answer. We just got to realize it.
A situation where sooner or later they will reject those values, you see. And consequently, then, you need to see how that training is integrated with economic development, political development, with the intentionality of overthrowing white domination and white supremacy, and also with the intentionality of blocking Asian domination and the domination of any other group. You must understand very clearly what a warrior is,
We don't know what that
and
is.
what training men really is about,
We don't know what that is.
must understand that we are at war.
We don't know what that is.
Yes. So you're not just training them not to sell drugs and not to do this and not to do this. They must now be trained to undertake a major, major combat with two major enemies now. Not just the Europeans, but with the Asians as well.
So
And
I'm glad he hits on that. Dr. Wilson is one of the few who look at the world from a realistic viewpoint. He understands the nature of humanity. He understands that just because the Asians have some melanin in their skin and white supremacy is the dominant religion, the dominant force on earth, doesn't mean that if the Asians get their chance, they won't become the dominant force on earth. So he talks about defeating the system of white supremacy and being able to squash any rise of Asian supremacy or any other type of supremacy that may try to come up against us. But damn, that take real work. That take real black people doing real things, putting in real work to get real solutions. One of the reasons, once again, Dr. Wilson was giving out homework. That's why a lot of black people didn't really rock with Dr. Wilson like that. He was giving out homework. Black people didn't want to do no homework because the word work is in homework. It's always the conditions and minds globally will have to change, but our place in being, yes, Dwayne, yes, from a global stance, you're right, because white supremacy is a global problem. It exists. Yes, thank you, man. Thank you. Another book, The Blood Never Dried by John Newsinger. Ashe, could you do me a favor? Could you please do me a favor, Ashe? Could you please email me those books, please? Because the books are the chat is going to disappear after the stream ends. So I'm gonna put my email in the chat, and please email me those books, please. Thank you. That and it's my email right here. Please email me those books, because I want to get those books and read them, and I don't want to lose them when the chat disappears. He said we are at war. Negroes don't believe this. That was look, that wasn't even the beginning of the war. That wasn't even the beginning of the war. We're not Africans. That's why Africanizing us doesn't work. We can live same block as Easterners. They're accepting to join, like they understood accent. I mean, we are black people in America, but we are part of the diaspora. So I mean, yeah, we're not African. We're not African like them. We are Black Americans. You're right. But we have no malice against Africans who ain't done nothing to us.
And possibly the Latin Americans. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we do not have any friends out here.
Straight up.
And we are being rapidly surrounded by enemies in this country itself. And we are being isolated as a group within this country as well as in the world. And the training of young men and women and all of us have to take that into consideration, you see. And we have to understand then theoretically what is going on, and then we have to put some real practical meat and bones on the theoretical framework. I'm going to talk a bit about culture here, because I found it instructive sometimes to look at things in very basic ways. You see, we talk about racism, and often we don't bother to define it. We talk about imperialism, we don't look at it in enough detail sometimes to really deal with it concretely. We talk about culture as well, African culture, and yet we really we haven't, as far as I've seen, analyzed that concept very deeply. I'm not going to analyze it today, but we have not analyzed it as well as we should. What do we mean by that? Whose culture are we referring to? You know, when we say that word, Are we trying to reintroduce Egyptian culture in America today? This is not Egypt.
See,
This
folks
is
don't
not
like this part.
5,000 BC, 3,000 BC, or any other BC. This is not sub-Saharan Africa either. Now, what am I saying about that? Africa and our history and our African cultures are tremendously rich and have great deals to offer us. And we all feed from those cultures. But to a great extent, I think we are facing the reality that we have to synthesize all the goods in those cultures and create a new one. Even the cultures that you call traditional, if you really know the history of those cultures, are cultures that have evolved over time. They're not fixed at year one and have stayed at year one. And therefore now you figure if you recapture it, you've recaptured the essence of African culture, and this is what you're going to recapture, and this is where you're going to stay in the midst of this whole changing world. Even those cultures that we call ancient did what? Evolved and moved over time. So there's no reason for us today to believe that we have to stay stuck in time. We use and we take and we maintain the essence of those cultures, the central identity that those cultures provide us, the lessons that those cultures have taught us, and we conquer new ground. And we Africanize new territory. And it is the whole world that we can claim for Africa. The world that has gone in the past and we want to, but the world to come. We are a two-sided people in the sense that we have two sides to our brains. African.
So I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna stop it right there for the sake of time, because I got to get moving. I got some other things I got to get into for the day get over. But we could definitely pick this up next week. We know where we at. We're at the 33:11 mark, and we could pick this up next week. Matter of fact, we're gonna do that. We're gonna continue Dr. Amos Wilson next week, because Dr. Amos Wilson needs to be studied more intensely, and he needs to be taken more seriously. But we have to be serious about making change. We've talked too much. That's why I have the joke of, if black people if we had a Marvel superhero character that represented black people, our two main superpowers will be resilience and talking shit. We will run up to Thanos and start roasting Thanos. And Thanos will, psh, we'll get up, but we ain't gonna do nothing else. We about as helpful as Black Widow without her arrows, or Hawkeye, right? We're just gonna go up and start talking shit with no plan of action, no foresight, no thought about anything. But I'm gonna make you feel bad. That's our superpowers, right? And then we feed those superpowers with the feel-good history, with our drug. We roll that sleeve up, we wrap that tourniquet around, pull that thing, put it in our mouth, and shoot that thing up, and just got that. You get that hit. Got them drugs in our system. We got that history. And after you feel it, you put your dashiki on. Put the African hat on, put that shea butter on, put them oils on. You know what I'm saying? You start talking about grand rising, kings and queens. You smell good, you look good. You know, you all Africanized, you got the African costume on, but no actual outcomes. What we supposed to do with that? In the year of our Lord 2025, That's almost over. 2 more months left in this year. What are we supposed to do with that? We've never been able to do anything with it. What are we supposed to do with that now? Forget feeling good. What about having my reality actually being what it needs to be, changed? So you mean to tell me they are saying that we can create the reality that we want, but this is what we choose. We can create the reality we want, but this is what we choose. We choose, matter of fact, we choose not to even create. We choose to do nothing. We choose to rely on somebody else to create our future and our reality for us. And the persons that we rely on to do that are our oppressors. How dumb is that? So we got to get out better. The name of the video is Feel Good History. This is the Cold Chiseled 2 YouTube channel. Dang, my bad. See, that's the Cold Chiseled 2 YouTube channel. So Dr. Amos Wilson, Feel Good History. That's the name of this. So yeah. Ernest, I appreciate you being here. Oh yeah, we gonna finish this up next week. We gotta dive deep into Dr. Wilson, man. Dwayne, man, I appreciate y'all. Know I appreciate y'all being here, man. This Saturday, it's a lot of some football going on. It's FAMU homecoming going on, and y'all here kicking it with me, man. I appreciate it. So let me go ahead and close this thing out so I can get to the next stage of my day. But I appreciate everybody for giving up your time and coming here and rocking with us, and let's learn and let's build community. Let's get to spurring some action. He is underrated, and that's why we're gonna keep hammering Dr. Wilson down people's throat. So first and foremost, Boundless, I appreciate you being here. Chaos Reign, I appreciate you being here. Dwayne, thank you for being here. Renee Woods, thank you. Ernest Smith, thank you. Shay, thank you. The Black Viewpoint, thank you for being here. Thank you for commenting. All of you, Nemesis X, as always, I appreciate you, my brother. I appreciate you. Sensei, FBM Marv, hey, I appreciate you being here, but remember, we ain't causing no strife for nobody, and we only rocking with Black folk across the globe who rocking with us. Amina Muhammad, as always, my sister, I appreciate you. Ash Shakir Whitaker, thank you, and I appreciate you. Did I say Boundless? Yep, Boundless. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Who else? Ty 313, thank you, thank you. Are you from Detroit, Ty 313? Blackamore, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. You already know what it is. I appreciate the love. Jawan D. Yeah. Chaos Rain Show, thank you. SPB made an appearance in the building. Man, where you been at, man? We've been waiting on you, man. We've had a couple live shows and you ain't been here, man. Where you been at? You done called me a coon and everything, man. Where you been at, man? I miss you. I miss you, bro. We gotta have a banter. We gotta have our back and forth again, bro. How you gonna call me a coon and dip, bro? He didn't give me a chance to fire back at you, man. But don't worry about it. Show up to the next live, bro. SPB. We're going live again Tuesday at 9 p.m. Be there. Be there. Renee Woods, as always, my queen. Thank you. Raw Idol, Vegan Girl. Raw Vital Vegan. I be messing vegetarian. I be messing your name up all the time. I'm sorry. I can't read. Raw Vital Vegetari. Thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate you. I truly appreciate you and your comments. Who else? Who else was up in here? Make sure everybody get their love. You didn't have to be here. Door of L. Thank you. Thank you for your continued contribution to this Terrell. Thank you. New Jersey Self-Defense. Thank you for being here. Fair Use. Thank you for being here. Hassan 01. Thank you for being here. Skills Pro Prep. Thank you for being here. Deborah Ann Smith. Thank you for being here. And LaRonda Witherspoon. Thank you for becoming a channel member and being here and rocking with us, getting this On the Shoulders of Giants experience. Y'all know how we do. Bump it. What's going on? What it is, fam? What is going on? Hey, man. As y'all know, next Saturday we running Dr. Amos Wilson back next Saturday, but we're going live again next Tuesday at 9 p.m. And remember, every day at 1 p.m. 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 Say it like that. It become a jingle in your head. So you know, every day at 1 p.m. we dropping a video. Every day at 1 p.m. Every day at 1 p.m. Every day at 1 p.m. I'm dropping a video. I hope that has been stuck in your head and you go around the house singing every day at 1 p.m. Every day at 1 p.m. Every day at 1 p.m. I hope it's stuck in your head. On the Shoulders of Giants. That's how we do this. Hey man, I love y'all. Continue being great. Oh, and shout out to my homie Juanito Wilbon. He dropped this book. His book has been published. It's out now. Tree of Life. Remember, I did a video. I did an interview with the brother. So make sure you check out that interview. It is the son of Yemiah fell from grace, but found the tree of life. That's the name of the podcast. The son of Yemiah fell from grace, but found the tree of life. Check out that interview. His book is published. It's out now. I went to his book signing last night. Check the brother out. One time, FAMU homecoming. Black people. I love black people. I love black people. I love black people. Make sure you love yourselves. We out this thing. Peace.